Smithy, first of all, thanks so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Can you describe to me the last 9 months of your life?
Yeah, it's been a tough 9 months. I've had ups and downs throughout the 9 months. Initially, I guess the first week or so after everything sort of went down in South Africa, that was really tough. I was in a pretty dark space. I was pretty much curled up in a ball and in tears for a lot of it.
Really, to that dramatic, was it? You'd hit that lower low?
Yeah, I was struggling mentally and not doing real well. But I was fortunate that I had a close group of people that I could speak to. My now wife, my old man, my good mate Luke, who's here with me today, and my manager. I pretty much had these guys on a loop on the phone, sort of assuring me that everything was okay. At the time it didn't feel okay, but sort of helped me get through that, or weather the storm, I guess, initially, and get through that difficult, that moment at the start. And then from there, I guess, the next 8.5 months, it's been okay. I've had moments where I've been down, there's moments where I've been up, and been a bit up and down, but I'm getting through it, and I've been fortunate to have a close group of people that have helped me get through it, which I'm really grateful for.
I suspect the Australian public feel that there's some unanswered questions. Just going back to Cape Town, can you take us into the change room scenario and that environment that allowed that to happen?
Yeah, look, I think it's been documented pretty sort of heavily what happened, and I don't want to go into that as such. But look, it was a mistake on my behalf as a leader to allow something like that to happen out in the middle.
The term that you allowed it to happen tells me that you're very aware that someone's made a decision to do that. Are you at liberty to describe the scenario there, the setting?
I saw the potential for something to happen out in the middle. I didn't particularly know that it was going to happen, but at that point I sort of said, I don't want to know about it. That was my failure of leadership. That's where I sort of should have just said, what are you guys doing? Like, stop it, this isn't on. So, that's my failure of leadership, and why I've owned it and taken responsibility for what happened. And that's, I guess, one of the things I talk about in making decisions. That's a decision where I could have said no and stopped a negative outcome that happened out in the middle. And that was, I guess, something that I've learned over this 9 months, is to sum up every single decision you make, take a minute or take a few seconds to think, if this goes pear-shaped, how's it going to look, And that's something that I've really learned over this last 9 months.
Was there any moment that you can think, gee, we started to go off track to allow that to happen? Or not?
I think back to Hobart when we lost there, and I think...
Against South Africa.
Against South Africa, and it was our 5th straight loss, I think, in Test cricket after 3 tests in Sri Lanka. And I remember James Sutherland and Pat Howard coming in the rooms there and actually saying, we don't pay you to play, we pay you to win. So for me, that was, I think, a little bit disappointing to say. We don't go out there to try and lose games of cricket. We go out there to try and win and play the best way we can. And, if you think talking about cultures and stuff, you only have to look back a couple of months before South Africa, and we won an Ashes series here in Australia 4-0, and people are saying the culture's really good, everything's good. So, things can change really quickly. Obviously, events that happen in Cape Town make people say that the culture was really bad. People will have their own opinions on that. Yeah. Personally, I don't think it was a bad culture.
Do you harbour an ambition to captain Australia again?
Look, it's not something I've thought too much about at the moment. For me, it's just about getting back, and I'd love to play under Tim in the Ashes and under Finchie in the World Cup, and I'd do anything to try and help them and help the Australian team play some good cricket and play the right cricket and have some success as well. So, that's my ambition at the moment, and I'm working forward towards that.
Well, good on you, mate. Thanks for joining us. I know all of Australia wish you all the best with these last few months and re-entry.
Thanks, Gilly.
Cheers, mate.
Good on you, mate.